Hi guys, I'm Lindsay. Today we're gonna roll and stretch our butt. We'll go ahead, take a seat on the roller, take either ankle over the knee, and then sit towards that top leg. So we're going on to the stretched muscle here, and we're just rolling really slow. Now, rule of thumb with rolling, you want to roll about an inch per second. You can go faster, build a little heat in the muscle, or you can go this slow timing where you'll really get into the deeper part of the muscles and get that myofascial release. So our muscles are coated in fascia, so it's a connective tissue that's kind of like a web. The more we massage that out before or after working out, there's benefits to both sides of that. The more you massage out the fascia, the muscles, get everything working more smoothly, the less pain ideally you're gonna feel. So just keep rolling here and sinking into the roller. And we'll do this a couple times, and you can vary a little bit where the roller is hitting on your hips here. Maybe you go a little bit more center, maybe go all the way over, put all your weight onto that side. And then go ahead, sink all the way into the side. So you've got two bony landmarks, you've got your top of your hip, and you've got your greater trochanter, which is part of your thigh bone. There's two bony spots here that you can find if you poke around. And just go ahead, spend a moment sinking down into that. Now there's a lot of connecting points in this region, so you wanna relax. Sink down, give it a moment, and now take your your top leg, take it back behind your bottom leg. Plant it on the floor like I just did, and we're doing a reverse clamshell. So this bottom leg just coming slightly up and then down. This is moving very slowly. You're spanning around the muscle fibers here. So obviously everything's three-dimensional, especially in the hips, you've got a lot of layers of muscles here. So spanning, sometimes you'll hit an area where it's like, oh, that's what I was feeling, or something that you're trying to work out in the hips. And vary how much you want that top hip forward or back here. And just take a moment, and then you can roll a little bit up and down, hitting more into the side glute muscles. Now today we're just going to go straight into the other side, and we'll go right into ankle over the knee, sit onto that stretched hip, and then roll here again. Now again, you just want to kind of move slowly, mindfully, and getting your weight into the roller. Now a lot of people have foam rollers and you're not using them at home all the time. You just kind of might do a little ditty here and there, but really the purpose is to get deeper into those muscles, right? In order to do that, you're gonna move a little bit slower than what's comfortable. So you'll go to the gym, sometimes you'll see people rolling around like crazy on the rollers, and that's fine actually. It gets the blood flowing in the muscles, which helps with recovery, helps with warm up as well. But for the purpose of stretching and really working out any sort of kinks that are in there, you wanna go a little slower, at least some of the time, with your rolling practice. And again, experiment with where you are on the hip. So for any of these rolling series, you can move around a little bit. You're gonna find that every muscle has different sensations on different days too. Sometimes it's really painful, sometimes it's not so bad. I want you to continue on this same hip that we're on, go all the way to the side. Again, we're between the top of the hip bone and that trochanter of the leg. You'll take the back leg up, plant the foot on the floor, relax here for a moment, make sure you're right between those two bony landmarks, and then start that reverse clamshell. So again, this is spanning around those muscle fibers, trying to get a little bit deeper into maybe where there might be some tension. Now the hips are the halfway point between the upper body and the lower body, so there's a lot of tension that tends to creep up into these muscles. And if you let that go too long, it'll end up with back pain or maybe even knee or lower leg pain. Ankles sometimes will be affected if the hips aren't absorbing stuff. So we want to roll real gently here a couple more times, and then we'll change into stretching. All right, let's put that roller aside today. And I'm gonna give you a couple options. We'll take ankle over the knee, doesn't matter which side you start with, we're gonna get both. You can either do this seated, press the hands into the floor, elongate the spine, or you can lay all the way back, going into a more traditional reclining pigeon pose. Just make sure either way you are that that top foot is flexed It helps me to kind of flex both so you're engaged. And that's gonna help protect your knee as you stretch. So we'll inhale and exhale, pull it towards you. Here, we've got 2 more breaths here. Inhale in and exhale. And last one we'll do here. Now we're gonna switch. I'm gonna show both positions. You can either do this seated. If you're in the seated posture, drop it down, cross it knee to knee, thigh to thigh. Pull those feet nice and wide. Try to get both sits bones on the floor. Elongate the spine. Now this might be as far as you take it. You might lean forward into that. If you're on your back, you can do the exact same position. So knee to knee, thigh to thigh. Again, flex feet, reaching for either the shin bones or the outside blades of the feet. And just breathe here. So I'm gonna demonstrate this on the back. I'll show the seated on the other side. So big inhale and exhale. Stretching into that. We've got 2 more breaths there. Inhale. Exhale. If you're seated, maybe you lean forward a little more. 1 more breath. Awesome. Let's go ahead. Switch to the opposite side, so wherever you are, just switch legs. So I'll show the seated one on this side. Ankle over the knee, sitting up tall against this. And if you're on the back, great, same exact thing. Making sure that the sides and the waistline are even. It's a little easier to feel seated because you can feel those sits bones. Try to lengthen. Inhaling in, exhaling, and just deepening into this. So this is going to be stretching a lot of the glute muscles. One of the biggest culprits is going to be that piriformis. It's one of the deep external rotators in the hips. That can cause a lot of issues if it gets too tight. So we want to try to hit this stretch a couple times a week if you're really, especially if you're really active, and you want to make sure that you're loosening that up after your workouts. Go about 1 more big breath here. Inhaling in and exhaling. Good. Now we'll move on to the second stretch. Now again, if you're seated, you'll cross it all the way knee to knee, thigh to thigh. Take those sits bones down on the floor if you can. You either stay upright or you lean forward. If you're on the back, same thing. Cross knee to knee, thigh to thigh. Really flex those feet. Reach for the shin bones or the outside blades of the feet and pull that down. We're just going to breathe here several breaths. Inhaling in and exhaling. We've got 2 more slow breaths here. If you're upright and you're forward folding, maybe walk the hands out further. Maybe you drop the head. Maybe 1 more slow breath, inhaling in and exhale. And roll on up. Great work today, guys. So we got those hips stretched and rolled.